billionaire playboy, lost at sea, compelled by his father's dying confession.
I didn't build our city! I failed it! No!
Oliver Queen made a promise to one day right his father's wrongs.
This is your responsibility now.
My responsibility?
But first, he had to survive.
You won't survive. You kill.
To forge himself into a weapon. 5 years later, he returned home.
Oliver Queen is alive.
But not as Oliver Queen. As something else.
What happened to you on that island?
How did you survive this?
He punished the wicked and corrupt.
What do you want?
Delivering justice outside the law.
Do what's necessary.
You're no hero. You're a killer.
His allies were few.
There's more than one way to save this city.
What makes you so sure I'm gonna help you?
His enemies, many.
He needs 2 bullets in the chest.
Are you ready to die? It soon became clear that the real threat to Starling City
Oh my God.
was far more deadly than he had ever imagined.
In 6 months, the organization's vision will be complete.
And it would take everything he learned
You might just have a chance.
to save it.
No, you can't! Why should I trust you?
You should make up your mind.
You have failed this city.
Oliver Queen is alive. The Starling City resident was found by fishermen in the North China Sea.
Mr. Queen, can we get a comment, sir?
Queen is the son of Starling City billionaire Robert Queen, who was also on board, but now officially confirmed as deceased.
When Oliver Queen returned home to Starling City, he was not the same spoiled rich kid who had disappeared at sea.
The Oliver you lost might not be the one they found.
The lavish life he had once taken for granted now seemed foreign.
Okay, what else did you miss? Super Bowl winners, Giants, Steelers, Saints, Packers, Black President, that's new.
What was it like there?
Cold.
Everything around him had changed, beginning with his mother.
Walter and I are married. And I don't want you to think that either one of us did anything to disrespect your father.
His sister Thea had grown up fast.
Where did you get these?
Thank you, Daddy's ACL tear.
Ollie!
No one's called me that in a while, Speedy.
Worst nickname ever.
Thea had been managing her grief in less than healthy ways.
My brother and my father died. I went to your funeral. You can't come back here and judge me, especially for being just like you. This, me, is the best I could do with what I had to work with.
So what'd you miss the most? Steaks at the Palm, drinks at the station, meaningless sex?
Laurel.
Everyone is happy you're alive. You want to see the one person who isn't?
Hello, Laurel.
Hunt has an army of lawyers, and they're ready to bury us.
You and I against an army. I love those odds.
Why do you hate me?
Oliver's ex-girlfriend, Laurel Lance, had become an attorney, going after Starling City's corrupt and powerful. Laurel was tough.
Why are you here, Ollie?
She had to be,
To apologize.
after what Oliver had done.
I never...
She was my sister. I couldn't grieve because I was so angry. That's what happens when your sister dies while screwing your boyfriend. It should have been you. I'd hoped that you'd rot in hell a whole lot longer than 5 years.
No! 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 Dad, she's not there! Not there!
She's gone.
Laurel wasn't the only one who was angry.
Did you even try to save it? Did you even try to save my daughter?
Okay, let's go, Bart. All right.
Her father, Detective Quentin Lance, never recovered from the loss of his daughter Sarah.
Let's go.
He wasn't ready to forgive. But Oliver was much better at letting go.
How much do you know about your own so-called friends over here?
His best friend and former girlfriend had grown close.
Well, I guess they never told you that they've been screwing while you were gone.
Look, man, Tommy. It's okay.
Oliver's homecoming attracted all types of attention.
What the hell?
Including the wrong kind.
Mr. Queen! Did he make it to the island? Did he tell you anything?
I'm not the man you think I am. I didn't build our city. I failed it.
Did your father survive that accident?
You can survive this. Make it whole. Make it better. Right my wrongs. But you gotta live through this first.
Survive. What did he tell you, Mr. Queen?
He told me I'm gonna kill you.
Oliver's time on the island changed him, and his assailants were the first to find out just how much. But he couldn't allow anyone to know what he was capable of.
Nobody can know my secret.
Robert Queen had left his son with a list of names, people who had done wrong by Starling City. It was his dying wish that Oliver would make them pay for their crimes. 5 years on the island of Lianyu had prepared him mentally and physically. It would be his mission to rid his city, one by one, of those who were using their power to destroy it.
You remind Grell I put him on the bench, I can take him off. I will turn him into a cautionary tale.
Yes, Mr. Hunt.
And this attorney...
Get in the car!
Oliver wouldn't be able to carry out this justice as himself. He needed to live in the shadows. He would have to become someone else. Something else.
You're gonna transfer $40 million by 10 p.m. tomorrow night.
For what?
Or I'm gonna take it, and you won't like how.
He was wearing a hood. A green hood. And he had a bow and arrow.
We'll put out an APB on Robin Hood.
He said he would be back here by 10 p.m. Make sure you're here first.
He's never getting in here.
You missed.
Really?
Tell me you saw that.
Untraceable. It is $40 million. Find it.
How did he do it?
His war on Starling City's cancerous criminal elite had begun. But Oliver never imagined the extent of the disease, or just how far it had spread.
My son knows nothing. Robert didn't tell him anything that could hurt us. He has no idea that the yacht was sabotaged.
Who's that? Where'd he come from?
Working from his father's list, Oliver Queen systematically took down the worst of Starling City's corrupt and powerful.
Marcus Redmond, you failed this city. Please, no.
Administering brutal justice.
You're gonna testify in that trial. You're gonna confess to having Victor Nascenti killed.
No one knew who the vigilante was, but his exploits quickly became notorious.
This guy gets more airtime than the Kardashians.
The city used to be different. People used to feel safe.
Afraid we're gonna be next?
He gained the attention of the law.
Freeze! Bow down. Hands up.
And earned notice from enemies he didn't yet know existed.
A modern-day Robin Hood.
Jason Burdeur, Adam Hunt, Warren Patel. Tell me you see a connection, Moira.
He's not targeting the rich.
No, he's not. He's targeting the list.
Secrets and lies were critical to survival. So to the public, he was the rich playboy he had always been.
I miss tequila!
To the Russian Bratva, he was a captain. And after earning their trust,
Pleased to meet you.
they provided valuable information about the criminal underground. But to Oliver's family, he was a ghost.
I felt closer to you when you were dead. Look, I know it was hell where you were, but it was hell here too. You gotta let me in, Ollie. You gotta let someone in.
Oliver, I want to introduce you to someone.
What do I call you?
Diggle's good.
To his new bodyguard, John Diggle,
So?
Oliver would be an extremely difficult assignment.
You're ex-military?
Yes, sir. 105th Airborne out of Kandahar. Retired. I don't want there to be any confusion, Mr. Queen. My ability to keep you from harm will outweigh your comfort.
Years before, Diggle's brother was murdered by a vicious assassin called Deadshot, who had recently returned to Starling City. Oliver faced off with the killer. And took him out. But not before one of Deadshot's signature poisoned lace bullets ended up in Diggle. After saving his bodyguard's life, Oliver decided it was time to let him in on his secret.
You're that vigilante.
Starling City is dying. It is being poisoned by a criminal elite who don't care who they hurt.
What are you gonna do? Take them all down by your lonesome?
No, I want you to join me.
Here's the security footage from the Exchange building shooting.
While investigating the Deadshot incident, Detective Lance made a shocking discovery.
Hey, wait, go back 10 seconds. What is that? I'll be damned.
What the hell's going on?
Oliver Queen, you're under arrest on suspicion of obstruction of justice, aggravated assault, acting as a vigilante, and murder.
Where's your attorney, Mr. Queen?
The accusation made for an unlikely alliance
Dinah Laurel Lance, Your Honor.
and drove a wedge between father and daughter.
You hate the Hood and you hate Oliver and you want more than anything for them to be the same person.
Oliver managed to beat a polygraph.
Are you the man in this picture?
No.
The truth he did tell
I didn't want to talk about what happened to me on the island because the people that were there tortured me.
had an effect on Laurel.
How did you survive this?
There were times when I wanted to die. In the end, there was something I wanted more. Laura, you don't have to go.
House arrest provided Oliver an opportunity to prove he wasn't the Hood. With a little help from Diggle as the vigilante.
An arms dealer was attacked across town tonight by the vigilante. In light of that, all charges against your son are being dropped.
Thank you.
Once he was free, Oliver and Diggle went to work.
Variable acceleration. Fighters work at the same pace. You switch it up, throw your opponent off his game.
That was nice. Where'd you learn that?
His name is Yao Fei.
After the shipwreck, Oliver landed on the island of Lian Yu. He soon discovered he was not alone. First, he met Yao Fei.
Who is such?
Ex-Chinese military, exiled to the island for a crime he didn't commit. Also on the island?
Do you know what this island is named? Lian Yu, Mandarin for purgatory.
A mysterious militia with bad intentions. After Yao rescued Oliver, he sent him to meet another ally.
Twitch. Now I'll open your throat.
Yelled face at me, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't so you could kill me.
Slade Wilson was Australian Secret Intelligence Service, stranded on the island after a failed operation to extricate Yao Fei.
Everybody is in this life for themselves.
Learned that at Australian spy school?
No. I learned that here.
He taught Oliver that to survive and escape the island, he would have to fight.
You have no skill, no strength, no training.
I told you, I'm not a soldier.
There might be a fighter inside of you after all.
You know, one of these days you're gonna be straight with me about what really happened on that island.
Absolutely. But not today.
Diggle was the only one who knew the truth about Oliver's double life. But there was another who Oliver turned to regularly.
Felicity Smoke?
Felicity Smoke, Queen Consolidated's IT superstar.
I was at my coffee shop surfing the web, and I spilt a latte on it.
These look like bullet holes.
My coffee shop is in a bad neighborhood.
So a friend of mine is running a scavenger hunt. I first need to get through this.
This is a military-grade cryptographic security protocol.
My buddy Kevin is starting an energy drink company. Could you please do a spectroanalysis?
If it's an energy drink, why is it in a syringe?
I ran out of sports bottles.
Felicity was also a resource for Oliver's stepfather, Walter Steele.
I was hoping you could look into something for me, discreetly.
I'm your girl.
When Walter found a mysterious diary in his wife's possession, Felicity helped him decode it. It was information too dangerous to hold.
Let me talk to him.
I think we're past the point of conversation, Moira, which means something must be done about it.
Please help me welcome Mr. Malcolm Merlin.
Malcolm Merlin was a titan of Starling City industry. He was also Tommy's father.
My wife would have liked you, Laurel.
Their relationship was complex.
Well, I wish I would have known her. She passed away before Tommy and I became friends.
She was killed, Laurel. There's no need to be polite about it.
Merlin was also a man with secrets. Secrets he would do anything to protect.
It's done.
And he won't be harmed.
Nor will he ever discover your involvement. You have my word.
What's done is done.
No, Moira. It's just beginning.
We must send a message.
When the Dark Archer first appeared, it seemed he was just an imitator in a different color hood. But when he drew Oliver into a fight, his purpose was curiously specific.
I know about the list, and the man who authored it wants you dead!
Oliver knew he was dealing with something more than a copycat.
The other Archer told me that somebody compiled the list. I always assumed it was my father. I think there's someone else out there. Someone who's more of a danger than the Archer. And I am gonna take him down.
While Oliver was focused solely on the list,
Leo Mueller, you have failed this city.
others expected more of him.
Maybe you can make a difference if you think beyond the scope of those pages. I'm sure your father wouldn't mind.
No, you don't get it. My father died so that I could live. Every name that I cross off this list honors that sacrifice.
Oliver, there's more than one way to save this city.
Not for me.
Sounds like you have a narrow definition of being a hero.
I'm not a hero.
Hero or not, more of his missions took him outside of the list. He took down drug dealers.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Psychopathic murderers. A family of thieves.
Drop your weapon!
I got this! No!
And at times, he showed compassion towards those driven to crime by the city his father failed.
It wasn't his fault. I turned my son into this.
Or if your dad could have seen you this week, the way you cared about the people he had hurt, the way you stepped up to try to help them, I say he'd be pretty damn honored.
I can't imagine you want the death of an innocent young woman on your hands. Not with your principles.
No! Hey! Shadow was Yao Fei's daughter, brought from mainland China to Lian Yu to use as leverage against Yao. It soon became apparent that Shadow was not an ideal captive.
Let the girl go.
Kill her!
And she proved she was her father's daughter. Shadow, along with Slade Wilson, trained Oliver to fight. She coached him in skills she had learned from her father.
Missile 1 locked on the jet T-trap. Prepare to launch on my mark.
When the island militia attempted to down a commercial airliner,
we need to reprogram the missile.
Oliver and his allies intervened.
Let her go.
And when tested, Oliver put everything he had learned from Slade and Shadow into practice.
I got your message. Is there a reason we can't do this face to face?
Oliver, as the vigilante, began covertly helping Laurel Lance to defend people the law couldn't protect.
What's in here?
Leverage. Enough to help save Peter Declan's life.
As an attorney, I never would have gotten a file like this. I always thought the law was sacred. It fixed everything.
Now what do you think?
I think there's too many people in this city who only care about themselves. They need someone like you.
Her connection to the Hood complicated Laurel's relationships. With her father?
He's a damn criminal, and you working with him, that makes you an accessory.
I am trying to save an innocent man's life.
No. You're breaking the law.
And her boyfriend.
So you met up with the Hood guy? Knowingly? Laurel, he's a murderer.
You sound like my father.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but he's right. She's been working with the Hood guy. There's some sort of infatuation thing going on here. Fix this before it becomes something that's unfixable.
Oliver had trouble being honest, but that didn't stop Felicity.
Hi.
Hi.
From coming to him for help.
Can I trust you? You've dropped some fairly ridiculous lies on me, and yet I still feel like I can trust you.
You can trust me.
And I have something to show you.
Where'd you get it?
From your stepfather. He said it belongs to your mother. This is your father's notebook. He kept a list of all the people in Starling City who owed him favors.
I just been researching some of those names online, and they're not good people.
The only way to keep this family safe is for everyone in it to stop asking questions, including you, Oliver.
But there were still too many questions left to ask.
I made it clear to him persuasively that his plans endanger the undertaking. I didn't have to make the usual threats.
Excellent. Oliver was concerned about his mother.
What's the undertaking?
I don't know. But with all this talk about threats, it can't be good.
And determined to find out everything she knew.
What are you gonna do?
Moira Queen, you have failed this city.
Please don't kill me.
Do you know anything about the undertaking?
I'm a mother. Please don't take me from my children.
Oliver couldn't help but show his mother mercy.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
He should have known better. After he escaped, he went to the one person at Queen Consolidated he could trust.
Oh, I'm not gonna hurt you, Felicity.
How do you know my name?
Because you know my name.
Everything about you just became so unbelievably clear.
Starling City vigilante attacked Mrs. Queen.
Excuse me? Can you help me? He's really heavy. I should have taken him to a hospital.
Felicity, listen, trust me. He'll be fine. He's been through a lot worse than this.
Once Oliver was stable, Diggle and Felicity addressed the obvious.
I was thinking all this would be more of a shock.
Oliver brought me a laptop riddled with bullet holes, had me trace a black arrow, and research a company involved in armored car heists. I may be blonde, but I'm not that blonde.
I guess I didn't die again. Cool.
Felicity was officially part of the team. The Glades is a notoriously rough side of Starling City.
Hey!
Known as a breeding ground for all manner of criminal.
I found the dirtbag. His name is Roy Harper.
How'd you know where I live?
A little thing called the internet?
Thea Queen was not a cooperative victim.
You know, you showed some real sack coming down here. The Glades in the middle of the night.
You must not know the value of a vintage purse.
Hey, can I give you some advice? Stay out of the Glades.
As it turns out, Roy's advice was sound.
Where's downtown at?
I don't know.
Maybe you can give us some directions. Or better yet, some money.
You're bleeding!
Yeah, that's what happens when you get stabbed.
Now, this could sting a little.
Oh, don't tell me a tough gangbanger like yourself's afraid of a tiny little needle. Well, just think about something else.
Like what?
Thea was charmed by Roy's bravery.
I was waiting for this.
Waiting for what?
But not by his life as a petty crook.
This is home sweet home for me. You either starve or you do things that mean you're lucky enough to make it to 21.
Roy Harper?
Yeah.
A deranged vigilante called Savior looked to make an example of Roy.
More on the story out of the Glades. The kidnapper seems to have another victim.
You know him?
Roy, he's my friend.
I promise you, he's gonna be okay.
Felicity, show me a map. Sites of the abductions and where we've seen the signal so far.
Diggle and Felicity traced Savior's location to Starling City's abandoned subway.
Don't do it!
After Oliver rescued him, Roy reconsidered his life's purpose.
I thought I was gonna die.
But you didn't.
Yeah, because of him. I can't go back to the way things were, Thea. I can't just go back to being nothing. I can't explain it. It feels like my life is connected to his.
The incident provided clarity for Oliver as well.
Seen that map before?
It's an old map of the decommissioned subway line. Runs underneath the low-rent district of the city.
It was right in front of our faces the entire time. My father, the other Archer, the undertaking, whatever the plan is, it's all connected to the Glades.
The undertaking which we set for ourselves is only months from fruition. There's hope on the horizon for everyone in Starling. We won't fail this city.
And I think I speak for everyone here when I say we're all with you, Malcolm.
But privately, Moira had misgivings.
I want to get out.
That's a lot to confide in me, Moira.
As did a colleague.
I've gone along with this for as long as I can stomach it.
Frank Chan recommended you. He said you could help us with our problem.
How can we be of assistance?
Malcolm Merlin, I want you to kill him for me.
The true humanitarian in the Merlin family was my wife, Rebecca. I like to think that if the man who murdered her knew her, he would have helped her to her car, made sure she was safe, instead of stealing her purse and shooting her.
Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Malcolm Merlin was not an easy target.
Toby.
He would not go down without a fight. A fact that took his son by surprise.
Wait!
How did you know how to do that?
What?
Kill.
arrived in time.
Stay back. I'm not here to hurt you or your father.
I said stay back.
You don't let me help you now. He's dead before anybody gets here.
Why should I trust you?
But there was no time left for secrets.
Because you always have.
Oliver.
Take it easy.
Thanks to Oliver,
The vigilantes saved you.
You did?
Malcolm Merlin was alive. But thanking him wasn't foremost in Tommy's mind.
I know you have a lot of questions.
Yeah. Yeah, but for now, just the one. Are you ever gonna tell me?
No.
Tommy's distrust of Oliver quickly grew to include Laurel.
When you first got home, I didn't think that you had changed much. But you have, and it's nice to see.
You still love her, don't you? It doesn't matter how I feel. Because of what I do, I could never be with her. So you don't have anything to be afraid of. She is never, ever going to know my secret.
It doesn't matter if she knows. I know that if she ever found out who you really are, she would choose you.
You can't be serious.
I'm not sure that I'm ready for the kind of commitment that you're looking for, and I don't want to hurt you in the long run, so...
You're lying.
I am not a liar.
If you've changed, and I know that you've changed, you would never do this.
And then I guess I haven't changed as much as we all thought then.
And Tommy's rejection
Will you please go talk to Tommy for me?
produced a self-fulfilling prophecy.
And say what?
Say that you and I are over, that you're not still in love with me.
I can't do that.
Why not?
Because it wouldn't be true.
Thank you for coming, Frank.
Merlin's survival forced Moira to cover her tracks.
Malcolm knows.
What?
I had no choice but to turn over what I discovered. The money that you paid the Triad to assassinate him.
Mr. Merlin thanks you for your loyalty.
Moira's paranoia began to boil over.
You lied to me. We had a deal.
And so did she.
You promised if I cooperated with the undertaking, Walter wouldn't be harmed.
He hasn't been. I'm a man of my word, Moira.
I think we both know better than that.
Turn on the camera.
Walter.
Like you said, Moira, we have an agreement. Walter would stay in my custody until the undertaking was complete.
We're both in this together.
And Oliver learned the startling truth about his mother.
She's working with Malcolm Merlin. And they're planning something. Something terrible. Hey, Mom.
After uncovering his mother's involvement with Merlin's plot, Oliver confronted her yet again.
Tell me the truth.
I don't know what you mean.
I think you do. A couple of months ago, when I showed you Dad's notebook, you seemed to know something.
When she continued to be evasive,
You need to stop asking these things.
I can't. I need to know.
Oliver used more drastic measures.
Oliver.
Moira Queen, you have failed this city.
Please, do not hurt my son.
Tell me what the undertaking is and I won't have to.
No! Malcolm is planning to level the Glades!
How?
There's a device. He says that it can cause an earthquake.
Why would you get involved in something like this?
My husband, he was lost. His decisions left me vulnerable to Malcolm, and I had no choice. I had to protect my family and my children.
This device, where is it?
I don't know.
If you don't tell me, I can't stop Merlin.
Oh, you can't stop him. It's too late.
Finally, Oliver understood his true mission.
It's the undertaking. I was just treating the symptoms while the disease festered. I stop the undertaking. I wipe out the disease. Merlin's plan is what I return from the island to stop.
For the past 5 years, under the threat for my life and the lives of my family,
Moira finally decided to come clean.
I have been complicit in an undertaking with one horrible purpose: to destroy the Glades and everyone in it. The architect of this nightmare is Malcolm Merlin. Yes, and I have proof that he has killed dozens in pursuit of this madness.
Is it true? Did you kill all those people?
I did what I had to do.
Malcolm Merlin, you are under arrest. Don't move! Dad, no!
Stay back. I don't want to hurt you.
You can't. And you can't stop me.
This red line here is a known fault that runs right below the Glades.
For about a mile, the fault runs underneath the old 10th Street subway line.
Dollars to donuts, the seismic device is somewhere along there.
I know where Merlin is keeping the device.
I need someone I can trust to deactivate the device.
Earlier today, Moira Queen, CEO of Queen... News of the impending disaster had already reached the Glades. As Detective Lance searched for the device, everyone prepared for the worst.
Proceed out of the Glades in an orderly manner.
Oliver and Diggle moved in to take Merlin down.
Welcome, gentlemen. I've been waiting for you. I wanted to see you watch your city die.
You should see something that looks like a circuit board.
Felicity talked Detective Lance through disarming the weapon.
You see a timer.
7 minutes.
Okay.
While Oliver battled to stop its detonation.
Cut the blue one.
All right, I got it. Holy God.
Thea tracked down Roy Harper.
Roy, stop! The device is about to go off any second.
But she couldn't persuade him to abandon his home.
I can't leave anything behind.
I know you think you have something to prove, but you're not the vigilante.
I can't do this unless I know you're safe.
And you better haul ass out of here, too.
With chaos erupting everywhere, Oliver had one final chance to prevent complete destruction.
Don't struggle. It's over. Don't worry. Your mother and sister will be joining you in death.
Oliver Lance did it.
It's over.
If I've learned anything as a successful businessman, it's redundancy.
There's another device. There's 2 of them.
Oliver Queen came back to right his father's wrongs. He couldn't have imagined how severe they truly were.
Go! Go!
He returned to a city suffocated by corruption and violence.
The damage seems to be contained.
On the east side.
Whoa.
Go.
And he fought to make it better.
Please help me!
To make the people around him better.
What are you doing?
I love you.
True heroism is defined by sacrifice.
Right behind you!
And real heroes are the ones who give up the most.
Is Laura safe? Is Laura safe? You safe? I'm sorry. Don't apologize. No. Sorry.
After the tragedy in the Glades, we must wonder, what will Oliver Queen become now? Something else, yet again? Perhaps something better.